I was originally gonna upload a more serious video, like a topic that was actually interesting and original, but something interesting has happened recently that I wanted to talk about, and I had some time to go out of my way and work on that while the other video's just kind of sitting at the back there collecting dust. But I will finish that other one and upload it at some point in the future, but I'm going on holiday for a week tomorrow, which would probably be the day this was uploaded, if not a week later. And then after that I'll be able to work on it again. So today's topic is going to be the YouTube copyright system and a very unfortunate example of what's wrong with it. So the other day I was talking to my mate about this remix that I did of the Whitewoods track Beachwalk. If it sounds familiar to you, I'm not surprised, because Pyrocynical uses it as his intro music and has been for a long time, pretty much since he started doing commentaries. And that is how I originally discovered Whitewoods, and since then I've been listening to all their stuff, and I think it's really good. If you're into that kind of vaporwave style of music, it's not mediocre at all, it's tremendously impressive, and I definitely recommend you check it out if you're a fan of that kind of music, because I certainly am. But recently something unfortunate has fallen upon these guys. The actual song, Beachwalk, was claimed by Sony. I'm not fucking surprised, to be honest. I mean, Sony are just claiming everything right now. If it's not Sony, it's UMG. And funnily enough, when I was originally looking at the sample, which I found before they even mentioned it, because I went on Who Sampled Who to actually find the sample so I could use it for my remix, I clicked that show more section that you get underneath every description of a video, and if there's copyrighted music in it, you'd often find the rights holders and the original composers listed in a separate list underneath all of the information that the uploader has provided. In that list was, not surprisingly, UMG, Sony, and like 20 other different cancerous companies that are quite famous for being money hungry and claiming stuff that pretty much just isn't theirs at all. And that's quite funny, because the sample that Whitewoods used is processed to the point where you can hardly even tell what song it is. Like, you could have listened to La Vie en Rose and not even recognised that the song was it. Well, maybe you might have if you'd listened to it before, but obviously it's quite obscure. You wouldn't expect to know where it comes from. If you actually listen to the song side by side with the original sample, it's so, I mean, you can hear the resemblance, but it's so hard because they just did so much to the song. They downpitched it like by an octave and added like vibrato and probably like vocoder or just loads of different things, and they made it sound completely unique. And to me, at least, that falls under fair use, because you're transforming it into entirely different media, pretty much. So I don't think it was fair to claim it at all. And the problem with that is that anyone else who's used the song, including Pyrocynical himself, will now very likely, if not already, he's probably had their video claimed by Sony themselves, and that's going to be a massive problem, because I'm sure Pyrocynical would very likely follow up on another video about this as well, but I personally wanted to talk about it because of how I found out about it. It's quite interesting, really. So the way I found out about this originally was like the day after I was talking to my mate. I went on my phone in the morning and I saw, so you know how YouTube on the phone is quite different from the computer, right? You tend to be flooded by like fucking basically Snapchat stories from other people who you aren't even subscribed to. Mostly people I fucking hate because they're all mainstream YouTubers, you know, like the clickbaiters and the viners and everything like that. You also get community updates from YouTubers that, like PewDiePie, even Pyrocynical himself sometimes does it, where they just list a picture and then a description of what they're up to or something like that. And Whitewoods, because I'm subscribed to Whitewoods, so Whitewoods uploaded this, and it's funny because like I was concerned that the copyright system would possibly affect me, like whether I had the rights to upload the remix or not, because that's something I plan to do in the future when I finally record the vocals and put it up on like SoundCloud or something like that. But no, it didn't affect me. It severely affected the original composers of the original song. It stuns me. It stuns me how scummy these large corporations are becoming now. I just every day I just pray I pray that YouTube will just somehow revert itself to how it was 3 years ago, where you could just create what you wanted, express yourself how you wanted to, and you wouldn't have any backlash for that. But no, you can't do that anymore. And the upsetting thing is, like, my favourite content creators, Pyrocynical included, have had to shift the way they express themselves and the topics that they make videos on, simply because if they take one wrong step, they basically lose all their income.
Now they're going through this stage of like, you can say whatever you want in videos, you can say use slurs and anything, and it's fine, it's green. And then they'll have like, and then they'll have a couple months of like, you could say like, I love my wife, I'm married with 5 kids, and just demonetized.
And it's upsetting because I personally enjoy the old Pyrocynical much more than I do the new one. I still watch his videos and, you know, I still have a laugh and everything like that, but, you know, when you go from this to this, it's upsetting, it really is, and it's not just him, it's, you know, PewDiePie not so much, because PewDiePie has kind of shifted to a quite an interesting style of videos. No, I'm not talking about the Minecraft videos, I'm just talking about, like, you know, his meme review and Lawai and everything like that. It's not bad, but again, older PewDiePie kind of does stand quite high over the newer one. I don't blame Pyro or PewDiePie for any of this. It's YouTube. YouTube are fucking everyone over. YouTube don't seem to realise that they're fucking over the people who made them what they are today. And I think this is going to lead to unforeseen consequences for YouTube, because eventually people are going to have enough and just snap. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was in the near future. There's not really many ways we can protest against this, considering that the big corporations have all the power, and there's no way that we can really get across to people properly the way we want to if YouTube are in the way. Maybe start a new platform and just everyone move on to that, but loads of people have already attempted this, and as far as I know, every single one has failed. There are a few arising right now, such as Subscribe Star? Is that it? Or is that just like a Patreon ripoff, but a better one? I need to just look this up for a second. Hold the fuck. I don't care about the moon landing. Okay. Subscribe Star. What? I think Subscribe Star will get big if YouTube keeps going the way it does. But I think we all wish that YouTube would somehow just revert to how it was 3 years ago, where you could just express yourself freely, make good money, and release Beachwalk without being copyright struck. Okay. I will release that remix at some point in the near future when I eventually find a vocalist. I might release another song as well, or just the Beachwalk song itself as a tribute to Whitewoods. And I recommend that you regularly check their channel just in case this particular problem has affected them badly, because I assume that if it has, they're going to open like a Patreon or a Subscribe Star, something like that, so that they can be supported financially. And if you're not subscribed to them, definitely go and check them out at least, because their music is tremendous and their editing is very good as well. It's more on the psychedelic side, but I like that personally, and I think a lot of you will as well. A lot of you. Fattest air quotes you can. There's only 40 of you, isn't there, at least? Anyway, with that, thank you for watching, and that politics video will be out soon, I think. Well, relatively soon. I'm going on holiday now. But yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. We are 90... I'm not going to make that joke, that's not funny. Yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like if you want. If you don't want to, fuck off. And with that, I conclude. Whitewoods, if you're watching, great stuff. I wish you the best of luck, and keep doing what you do. Take care.